Good morning. Today I've got handheld metal detector, Cen-Tech, item 97245. So I picked this up today. It was $16.99 with 20% off, so it was 14 something. And I bought this to find metal in wood. So I want to see how that works. So what do we got? We have the item with a nice carrying case, protect it, activation button, sensitivity adjustment, runs off a 9-volt battery, gives you a Thunderbolt. I'm going to use this, to be honest with you. I'm going to switch this out because I don't think it's going to last that long. Plus, I'm afraid it's going to leak. The Thunderbolts have a reputation for that. So, install the battery. Pretty easy. Okay, the sensitivity is turned up all the way. You turn that sensitivity down until that stops. You want to get as close to that as possible. There we go, that's what we want. For comparison, I dug out this Sercom Metalliscan M40. I've had this for at least 5 years, probably 7. And I use it a lot. It's got its drawbacks, but it's what I have to compare. I use this to find metal in boards before I run them through my planer. Use a lot of recycled wood, so I pull the nails, but there's usually slivers of metal left in there, and those can chip your planer blades. Okay, I don't normally have boards sitting around that have metal in them. I scanned this one with both detectors, and it doesn't find anything. So I've got a 18 gauge nail. I'm just going to drop it in a hole in this board. So I'm going to seed the board so we can find something. I want to use this. I'm going to grab a piece of wood, set it against it to calibrate it, and then I'm going to scan the wood. So for me, then there's no nails in it, but I know there's one there. So let's go slow. And it doesn't detect it. And this, there it does. There's no consistency to this. See, it looks like it finds it that way, but I can come down here where there's no nail just as easily. So let's calibrate it, move it around. This is what I would do if I was checking for nails. I don't know what I could do different, because if I scanned this, based on that, I would not think there's a nail in there. Okay, that's just too erratic. I can sit and scan a board all day long and I still won't know if there's nails in it. Okay, in the manual it says if you get erratic behavior, and I think that's erratic behavior, just replace the battery. It might be dead or weak. So let's take a look and see what the battery says. 9.06. I'm not so sure we could get better voltage out of it. Of course, it is a crappy battery, so let's try a name brand battery. I went and got an Energizer Industrial. 8.84. So we're going to put that in. Verify we have the nail down in the hole. Okay, straight on, doesn't do anything. Well, we dumped the nail and let's see how it does. Well, let's put the nail back in. Okay, so what I'm going to conclude from this is the battery that comes with it sucks. Zinc chloride made in China. I went and got a better battery and I'm getting consistent results now. So I have reasonable expectation now that if I start scanning this board, I will find the nail. Unfortunately, it isn't actually what I bought the tool for. I bought the tool for just a tiny tip of it, so let's try that. So I broke off just a very tip of that. So I've got the piece of metal. I want to drop it in the hole. Let's try this one now. Doesn't seem to want to find that. This one doesn't seem to be finding it either. Okay, so what I conclude from this is put a new battery in this one. These are roughly equivalent. What one will find, the other will find. This just sounds a buzzer if it finds metal, so you don't know if you found a big piece, a little piece, whatever. This one, on the other hand, does have a scale, and this would be for a sliver and this would be for a full nail, and it actually beeps if it finds a full nail. Okay, so this is a $30 tool, 5 to 7 years ago. This one is a $15 tool. So I get the same results. On the other hand, this is twice as expensive. So Cen-Tech to me is okay. I'm a little disturbed that the battery that looks new can't really run this. I got real erratic results when I used the battery that came with it. When I put a good battery in it, I got consistent results and it worked well and I was very happy with it. I don't want to spend forever going through my boards. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to come into the shop, I want to take a board that I want to use. Obviously this is recycled because it's got nail holes all over it. So I'll do this. I want to scan it. Oh, found something. This one's a little better. I can hold the board like this and just scan it. This one, I've got to scan one side, and because it's unidirectional like this, I've got to scan the other side. I've got to hold that button in the whole time. I've got to hold this button also, but this has a probe that lets me use it easier. So overall, I've been happy with this. It's found a lot of nails that would cause problems with my planer. This I think I'll be happier with because it's easier to use, it's a little bit quicker, just feels more comfortable because I don't have to keep turning this probe side to side. Once I figured out how to use this, you want to use this part right here to do the detection. You don't want to use the end. You can adjust the sensitivity. The more you turn it up, the more false you're going to get. Adjusting the sensitivity is kind of a crazy thing. If I set it to where it's as sensitive as it can get, it'll suddenly get too sensitive. So sometimes I'll turn it down a little bit. And I like the light, but you realize I'm going to run the battery down in this faster because it has the light. Typically, this isn't something you use every day. What I do is I get a set of boards for a project and I plane them, and then that's a small part of the project. So it isn't like I use this every day. But when you need this, it's valuable. It's easier to buy this and scan your wood than it is to replace your planer blades. I'm happy with the way it's working now that I replaced the battery. So I recommend you not use this one. Or you can just be frustrated. So when I compared the usage of this with this is $30, this is $16 with 20% off. To me, they perform virtually the same. So for half the price, you get the same performance, which is what you should expect from a lot of Harbor Freight tools, but I'm not sure you always get it. So I'm going to say this is a good tool. Recommend it. If you like the videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.